Okay, so the situation is you're noticing that notifications are not being sent to your employees as it relates to certain learning actions. So where do you go to confirm that these notifications are turned on? And if they're not turned on, how do you turn them on? So where we're going to go is we're going to go ahead and sign in to Oracle HCM Cloud. And from here, we're going to go over to My Client Groups. And we are going to go to the Learning area. And then we're going to bounce over to Setup. So this Setup area is, for the most part, the global setup for a lot of what Learning Cloud does. And we're going to come up over here to Alerts, and we're going to take a look to see if any alerts are turned on. And this happens from time to time. You think your alerts are turned on, and sometimes they're not. So by default, this is the way the system normally comes. This is the way the application normally comes. And for whatever reason, if these aren't turned on, it's very easy to turn these on. So you simply just click on Edit, and you click on these checkboxes, and you make some choices as it relates to frequencies. For instance, enable alerts to instructors when instructor-led activities change. That's important. So let's go ahead and turn that on. Enable alerts for recommended learning items created in self-service. Yep. Enable alerts for recommended learning items created by learning administrators. Yes. Enable alerts to assignees for classroom changes. So something changes in the classroom setup. Enable alerts to assignees for changes to activity dates. Yes. Days before the start of training to send instructors an alert reminder. So to remind your instructors that they have a session that's coming up, they want to know how many days, right? A lot of times, 2 days, maybe 3 days. That's very common. We'll keep this to, let's just say, 2. So 2 days before the session, the system's going to alert them to remind them that, hey, you got to teach a session. Enable alerts to assignees for added or removed activities. That's normally pretty popular. And then last but not least, the calendar invite setup. And once again, a lot of times this isn't initially set up. So this first field here is all about the default organizer for calendar meeting invites. What that means is what's the email address, or I'm sorry, the default organizer that is going to be sending out these system-wide emails, right? And then when available, using a use primary offering coordinator as the organizer for calendar meeting invites, right? So if you click on that, it's going to use the email of the organizer, right? But when available. But if there is no organizer that's defined, then what's the email address, right? So like, your company training at yourcompany.com, right? So a lot of times organizations have a department email that sends out system-wide notifications, system-wide emails. This is the field that people see where it's coming from. So if you have a training department email, a shared inbox, something like that, that's what you put in there. And then once you have made all these selections, all you need to do is click Save and Close. And that is it. Learning Cloud now has all these alerts turned on, and we have different times of day as far as alert reminders. So 2 days before, you've identified where the notifications are coming from, if they leave the system and go out as an email. And then you have this checkbox as far as if you're the organizer of something, your email will be, or your name will be attached to that email, as far as this is this is the person that it's coming from. Now, if you don't want that, I have run into some organizations that don't want that. You can simply come in and re-edit that, and then, all emails, all notifications that leave the system that go to somebody's email will come from, this centralized email box, right? So you click on Save Close, and there you go. Now, there are times that whether you're in your production or your dev environment, that you may want to turn these off for testing purposes. That is completely appropriate. That's why Oracle has made this so accessible to the learning specialists, so they can very easily turn these notifications off if you're going through some sort of testing scenario. So there are times that you may want to turn these off temporarily and then turn them back on.